Hey, everybody. We're back again to talk about movies, and this week we're talking about Raising Arizona, starring Nicolas Cage. Directed by, I believe, Joel Coen, and his brother Ethan produced.
Correct.
Yeah. Um, all right, and we got myself, Zach, Jonah, and we have somebody on the call with us today, and that's Zach's friend, Rosario. I don't know your first name. What's your first name?
Dan
Dan.
is fine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I simplicity's purposes, I think I'm just gonna call you Rosario throughout this call or throughout this podcast. That's fine, right?
Uh,
Or
I guess.
all
I
right,
guess
all
what's
right. You know what?
easiest for
Yeah, all
you.
right, we'll do Dan. We'll do Dan. Forget it. We'll do Dan.
How about Dirk?
Dirk, as in Dirk
Yeah.
Diggler.
Dirk Diggler.
Absolutely.
All right, Dirk.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
One of the greatest movies of all time.
Dirk Diggler.
Exactly.
Boogie Nights,
Mm-hmm.
1997.
I've never seen that movie.
Oh,
Yeah. But all right. I believe this was
I'm glad
Jonah's.
to be here. Glad to be here.
Yeah. Welcome, welcome. This was Jonah's pick of a movie. And do you want to, I don't know, talk about it for a bit?
Yeah. This is one of the movies like my dad introduced me to. Like the several hidden gems he's watched over the years. Yeah, it stars Nicolas Cage, Holly Hunter, and just a huge supporting cast of other people sprinkled in.
Absolutely.
And John Goodman. John Goodman. He's what the Coen brothers use him in several of them.
Yeah. He was The Big Lebowski. I believe that's Coen Brothers film.
I love
Oh,
the Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Brother, we out thou.
Yep.
Oh, Brother Art Thou.
I forgot about that one too.
He is in that. Yeah. He's a father, right? No, he's
He's I think he's like a traveling Bible salesman,
Yes, that's what he is.
and he's also part of the KKK.
So
He's also Sully from Monsters Inc.
he's also solely from Monsters
That
Inc.
is. I think that's my first introduction to John Goodman. Actually, was Sully.
He's been in an ungodly amount of movies.
The movie came out like what, 2002, 2003?
Either one of those 2 years, yeah, definitely. I remember it came out when I was living in Fort Myers, Florida.
Yeah, I feel like for the most part, like John Goodman, he tends to play like he doesn't. All right, so like I often see him in roles where he isn't like that much of a goofball.
Like he was in Raising Arizona.
Yeah.
He was a complete lunatic
Yeah.
in this movie,
He was.
from the beginning to the very end.
I like when I think of John Goodman. Actually, I think of 10 Cloverfield Lane most often. What's up?
Can we raise Rosario up, actually? Sorry.
Oh, Ray's Rosario. Okay.
No, I'm sorry.
No, we're just raising your volume. That's all.
10 Cloverfield Lane, that's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He plays a psychopath in that one.
He does. Well, the actress in 10 Cloverfield Lane, what's her name?
Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I really like her.
Otherwise known as...
What, Scream Girl?
Oh, no, I was gonna say, what's her name? Ramona Flowers.
Oh, Ramona. Yeah, exactly. Not for a while. She
He's
was
also doing that show on HBO now, The Righteous Gemstones. But I haven't seen that show. I don't know if you guys have.
She's in The Righteous Gemstones? Oh, you're talking about
No,
John
John
Goodman.
John Goodman.
The
Okay,
Righteous
yeah.
Yeah, he's in that.
What's Righteous Gemstone? What is that?
HBO Max. I think it's
HBO,
comedy.
yeah, it's
Okay.
HBO series.
No, but yeah, John Goodman plays a complete lunatic from the very get-go of when Nicolas Cage's character meets him in prison.
Yeah, I like how like in the the Coen brothers universe of movies, all the criminals have a sense of goofiness to them.
Mhm.
They do.
Like no matter how murderous they are. Like I mean obviously there's like no one really murderous in this movie. I mean, you could argue that like the dog guy is.
Yeah.
But he doesn't even he doesn't end up actually killing anybody.
Oh.
Yeah, like
Ten-
I like how when they arrive at like Nicolas Cage and Holly Hunter's home, they have like an air of like high class about them in the way they talk, but like it also belies their absolute fucking like what's the word I'm looking for? They look like they're definitely faking like being like high class.
Incredibly like ignorant
Yes.
in how they speak.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like when she asked like, "Oh, did you get released?" And they were like, "No, we released ourselves of our own recognizance."
Mhm.
Which is not something like a criminal would say, or like which is not something an idiot would say.
Oh,
but then they say it, and it's like it doesn't seem to fit like their character, but it also 100% fits their character.
it's when John Goodman he said, we felt like the legal system no longer had anything to offer us.
us. Yes.
And
Yeah, and then William Forsythe's character is just like, yeah, just going along with everything he said.
Can we talk about the names in this movie for a second? Like the names in this movie are redonkulous.
Mm-hmm.
H.I. McCunna, also known as High.
yeah, or Ed,
Or
short
Ed.
for Edwina.
When the movie started, like I didn't know who. I just knew Nicolas Cage was in this. I didn't know anyone else. So like when he was hitting on that cop, I thought it would just be like, I didn't think like they would end up together.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the second time he came back, and then she was crying and stuff, and I'm like, oh, is this gonna be a thing?
Mhm.
And then turns out they're a thing. I think that kind of sets up the world that we're introduced to. Like this is not a real world. This is a world in which like fanciful things are rewarded, and like your good-natured people, like they always like they don't get shit on. So like Nicolas Cage going back to the same like prison over and over again,
Just to see her.
continually robbing convenience stores with weapons, albeit they're not armed, but with weapons, and then like not just getting the same fucking treatment every time. Like this
Yeah.
is a very kind and forgiving world.
Oh yeah, it's true.
So like it kind of like sets my brain up to accept that like, okay, this is not a gritty world. This is not like No Country for Old Men.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
is yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a more forgiving, kooky, fun world.
Can we just call any movie that resembles this a Coen world? Can we call
You
this?
can't. You really can't because
all their movies are so
yeah.
like diverse and different, but they're like similar.
That's true.
Some of the like for example, like No Country for Old Men is a very scary world.
That's true.
It's
The ballad of the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, Buster Scruggs, that was a good
Yeah.
one too.
Yes.
Yep.
Sorry.
That world is also. I mean, it's also kind of kooky, but it's
Depressing.
it's less forgiving. I
That,
think.
that
yeah.
world. You seen the movie?
Yeah.
It's depressing. Rosario, have you seen the Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
I actually haven't. No.
Oh.
Oh, well,
It's
so
good.
it's on Netflix. Should be. It was a Netflix original movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's an anthology, so
an
like
anthology,
it
yeah.
has like different stories in it. I think each story is like what 35, 40 minutes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, roundabouts.
Maybe less than that.
I believe Liam Neeson's in that movie. I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
He's with Dudley from Harry Potter.
I don't remember Liam Neeson. What did he do in that movie?
He was
probably the most depressing.
that was
Oh,
super,
really?
it was
Yeah.
super depressing. So it's the one he was the traveling circus, the traveling sideshow guy.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's-
okay.
So like
I remember Zoe Kazan's story. I remember.
the intro was like you really
Oh,
thought,
yeah.
where's it going here? It doesn't.
Oh.
Mhm.
Well, I actually don't even want to ruin it because I would like Rosario to see it unless he's okay with us talking about it.
No, you guys can talk about it. That's fine.
Um,
That movie like flew under my radar.
it's
Definitely worth a watch.
I think it caused a decent amount of buzz.
It was
Did it-
Oscar nominated.
Did it
It was
actually win anything?
I
or-
don't think it won anything, but it was definitely nominated. I know that for a fact.
Okay.
But like you said, it's an anthology series.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're gonna go back. We should go back to Raising Arizona soon, but it's an anthology series. Shows obviously each storyline is 40 minutes long. You can argue that they're all in the same universe.
Oh, I think they're definitely in the same universe. I believe so.
The Coen verse.
The Coen verse. That's what we'll call it. Call it the Coen verse instead of the Coen
Coenverse.
world.
Yeah.
And this Liam Neeson, I'm pretty sure he was the traveling sideshow host, and Dudley, the guy who played Dudley from the Harry Potter series,
Yeah.
he played a
Quadriplegic?
quadriplegic, but he was more like he had no arms and legs,
Mm-hmm.
right? And people paid money to watch him. He would recite poetry, Shakespeare actually.
Oh wait, okay. I'm starting to remember now. Keep going.
Yeah, so he had him recite poetry, and these people paid money to see that until eventually he realized, like Liam Neeson realized, this guy is a burden. You know, he would care for him. He would help him shit. He would clean his piss and shit and everything like that, and have to feed him all the time, while obviously just keeping him alive just to make money. Till one day, like, you know, he wasn't making a lot of money from people, and he saw there's this guy who had his chicken that could guess.
Guess numbers or like say numbers or whatever.
Yeah, he can guess numbers.
Yeah, yeah.
And the guy's like, damn, he paid money for that chicken. And later on, like, he decided to,
Wait, no, I think he could do math.
oh, he could do math. He can add and subtract things.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a chicken who could do math. And yeah, it all the while this is it's not like a happy-go-lucky thing. It's just super
This
depressing.
doesn't sound like a Coen Brothers movie. You're
It's-
making all of this up.
I'm serious. This is it's super.
Dude, you have to be making this up.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
No, it's
Like,
definitely Coen's brother.
It's definitely
Mhm.
Coen brother movie. And no, albeit this is an entirely depressing setting. This entire 40 minutes, you feel bad for Dudley, the character. I forgot the name of the actor.
Yeah.
But you see, like, the guy knows he's a burden to Liam Neeson's character, and Liam Neeson understands it. So Liam Neeson then goes to euthanize this guy, by drowning him.
Oh, is it really euthanasia or is it just murder?
It's murder.
I think it's murder.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, euthanasia. That would entail the he agrees
Yeah. No one agreed to this. So yeah.
because
Um,
he drowns him to so he's a burden in his
Yeah.
eyes in this time,
Yeah.
definitely in this time of life.
And then he has the chicken at the end.
And he has a chicken, and I'm pretty sure the chicken eventually died later on too.
I don't know. I don't
So-
know about that.
Essentially, like, it never worked. It didn't work out for anybody. He became a murderer,
Mhm.
and he lost all his money and anything he had. So
Okay, so Liam Neeson doesn't kill anybody in this movie.
What? No,
No, he does. He
Definitely
definitely
murders
does.
this
Quadriplegic.
quadriplegic guy.
Yeah, because he was a burden and wasn't making him money,
Yes.
and the chicken was.
yes.
until the chicken died.
Wait. Oh, wait. Okay, so Liam Neeson was that guy. I thought you were saying the Dudley actor was the one who was doing that. Okay.
No, yeah, the
No,
Dudley
was
guy.
the paraplegic.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, he it was the entire 40 minutes. It was just I couldn't take my eyes off of it, off the
Jesus,
screen.
then.
I couldn't take my eyes off the screen because it was so depressing. I think it made me feel just so sad the entire time. But I guess we
I think
digress.
so. Like, obviously now, like the Coen brothers, when they make movies, they're a little bit more polished. Like this movie does not look polished,
No.
but it still looks interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And like right off the bat, like one of the sequences early on in the film when Nicolas Cage is trying to take this baby, and like he's in the baby room and he's in there for like a whole 5 minutes.
It's-
Like he's in there for a while.
A while.
And he's playing like he's trying to catch the right baby, and then all the babies, they're like out of the crib. There's 5 babies, by the
Mhm.
way. It's like a quintuplets.
I think we
Quintuplets, yeah.
I think we completely missed the whole, basic summary of the movie before we can talk about this. We did not even talk about why he's there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. You want to clue Rosario into what this movie's about?
Yeah. Well, backtrack. So Nicolas Cage plays a repeating convenience store burglar.
Robber.
Robber, there you
yeah.
go. H.I. McDonough, or Hi. He meets his wife, Ed. She what she I think her only job in the whole movie is
It's
to
processing.
is processing, taking pictures of inmates rolling through. So they get together. They can't have kids. Their response to that is to adopt, which falls through.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have the idea of stealing a child from what
He's like a local millionaire.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's like the local furniture rich man.
Unpainted furniture, by the way.
Unpainted furniture.
Nathan Arizona.
Yes.
No, Arizona.
I think it's just Arizona.
Yeah, senior.
That's a good point there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Senior.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's basically the story. And
What's
like,
actually sorry before we go there? Like, remember we're going to talk about how he goes into the building, the house.
yeah.
They never talk about. They just say they got more than they can handle.
mm-hmm.
They never said, "I want to steal that baby." It just goes straight to the scene where
Oh
he's
yeah,
in the room.
yeah.
We just like
Yeah.
we should already assume that's what they were talking about in between scenes.
I like how like all they do is they just literally have a ladder to the window, and the window's just open always, and like it's ready for a baby abduction.
Well, you also talk about how they're just the Arizonas are down in that like the little coffee room,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and they're just chilling. They hear a bunch of ruckus upstairs, and they're just like, huh.
It sounds like
Maybe we should
Nathan
check on
Jr.
it.
Yeah, sounds like the baby's roughhousing upstairs.
No, but they specifically name one of the babies.
Mm-hmm.
It's, because these babies are maybe a couple months old per the movie,
Yes.
and the guy
They're
makes noise.
infants.
They're just making random noise,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like sounds like this specific kid. It sounds like Nathan Jr.
You know what was weird when I first saw it? Like, it seemed weird that the wife was so old. She seemed older than I thought she'd be for someone who just had quintuplets.
Mm-hmm.
When I first saw,
Well,
Yeah.
I think that was one of the.
and then they address it later on.
Yeah, she had trouble having kids.
Yeah. So and the Nathan, like he's telling them at the very end that,
Mhm.
like, hey, like, you guys gotta keep trying, and then he alludes to the fact that like they kept trying like years later.
Mm.
And then I'm like, okay, it makes sense because they're both old. So like that's one example of how this movie, as crazy and out of the world it is still grounded, and it still wants to make coherent sense
Yeah, came
within its own crazy framework.
came full circle.
Yes. It's not like when I was watching this, it had very similar vibes to Joe Dirt. And I think both of these movies, both Joe Dirt and Raising Arizona, they both have incredible heart. Incredible heart. It is such a warm, and it just fucking invites you in.
It's
But
simplicity.
I think Raising Arizona has a heart and it has brains. I don't think Joe Dirt has brains. Joe Dirt is just fucking crazy and stupid, and that's why we love Joe Dirt.
It's just fancy.
But Raising Arizona, it is also like, simple, but it makes sense within its own world. And it also does things that are a lot more interesting and different than you would expect from this type of movie. One example, when that whole scene where the dog, like the bounty hunter guy, he steps into Nathan Arizona's office saying, "Hey, I'm gonna find your kid for you. Pay me $50,000." And like in a lesser movie, like Nathan Arizona would have been like, "Yeah, find them for me and kill them." Like in a lesser movie, that's what
Mhm.
would have happened.
The writing.
Yeah, but the writing, exactly. The writing in this movie was like, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to, like, Nathan Arizona is going to have a brain.
Yeah, he
And
has
he's-
morals.
Yes. Because, yeah, and I love the fact that this movie did that. And on top of that, like, in addition to that, the fact that the characters, they have a decent amount of self-reflection.
Mm.
They have a decent amount of self-awareness that I don't think a lesser movie like Joe Dirt has he has nearly zero self-awareness.
Mm.
But in this movie, like, and the characters in Joker, they also have zero self-awareness.
Yeah.
But in this movie, everyone,
Is aware of the flaws.
yes, and like Holly Hunter's character, Ed, like she comes to a realization where she's like, "Hey, what we're doing is fucked up. We should stop doing this."
Well, there's depth in like almost every one of the characters, regardless if they're the smallest role, even like the convenience store kid with the braces.
Yes.
That just what he has like a hand cannon
Oh yeah.
firing at Nicolas Cage. You could probably do a whole movie on that
44
kid.
Magnum.
Yeah.
It reminds me. So what we're alluding to here is
Mhm.
there's Rosario. There's a scene in which they're leaving somebody's home and they're going to pick up diapers at a convenience store and some other goods. And so while Edwina, his wife, is in the car waiting for him with a baby, he's inside the store and he robs the clerk. And the clerk's putting all this stuff in,
Mhm.
And his wife comes in screaming and she's runs away in the car, leaves him there. And, because the cops are on the way, because the clerk called the cops on him. And he turned around, wasn't paying attention. The clerk brings out a gun to his face and he runs away with the diapers. And so there's a whole chase scene with the cops that span right through different scenes.
All the cops in this movie, they shoot to kill.
Oh
They shoot
yeah.
to kill.
No questions, just
Yeah.
straight to violence.
Yes. They're even not going to ask questions. He had nothing on him at this point either
We're in
way.
a crowded supermarket.
Literally stealing
Just-
diapers. You're getting blasted.
What I love about this, right, is he drops the diapers because the cops
Oh, yeah, I
shoot it
love
at him.
Mhm.
I do love this.
He drops the diapers and they shoot at him, and he's running away. He goes through backyards being attacked by dogs, and then he leaves the yard, and all the dogs in the neighborhood are running after him and the cops. So they have the cops running after him. He has dogs running after him. He goes to this superstore, and he's wearing this pantyhose on his face to cover his face, obviously. And then the superstore, the supermarket manager brings out a shotgun. And
Yeah.
while he's only stealing diapers, these guys are blowing up
he
half
doesn't
their
even
inventory.
he doesn't even have the diapers in his hand at
No,
this point.
No, not yet.
He just walks in and the guy
Starts
is
shooting at him.
Yes.
like he has no idea what's
It's
going on.
like
He sees
the
some guy
the
running.
world knows Nicolas Cage
Yep.
is a target and
Yep.
everyone has a gun.
Mhm.
and there more stuff happens there, like to explain. But he runs out of the store,
Yeah.
and until eventually his wife picks him up in behind the store because she's been not following it. It just worked out that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And picks him up, and they drive off. And it pans to the scene or the street in which he dropped the original diapers, and he picks them up, and they drive away super
Yep.
safe. Meaning that like how it was going to work out in the beginning
Like
works out
that
in the end.
scene like did the full circle thing that
Mhm.
you were that scene itself came for full circle.
Exactly.
Which
Well,
is
they-
super satisfying.
Well, they were arguing in the car, and the whole time they were arguing, Nicolas Cage was like, pleading his case, and he kept like stopping the discussion to tell her directions.
Yes.
He's trying to direct
yeah,
back
yeah,
to
I
the
remember
diapers.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's like,
Um,
turn right here. Yeah.
Turn right here, honey.
I did notice that too.
They have
Yeah.
they have a very sweet relationship. I think like there is a healthy amount of back and forth in there, and in the beginning I was afraid that like Nicolas Cage would just be like just a lazy like for the boys like kind of guy, but he seriously considers what his wife thinks, and he seriously considers like her opinions and stuff,
He does.
which is a refreshing good like change. I say change as if like this movie came out today. This movie came out in 1987. But like it is nice to see that in theaters. And like what really like solidified how I saw High in this movie was when like his boss was out talking to him, and then his boss tried to convince him to like swing.
Yeah,
with
it's a
him.
sleazeball.
Yeah. And then the super like likable goofball thing that Nick Cage's character does is he just clocks him.
Yeah.
Like no explanation.
You're not
like,
touching. Don't talk to
yeah,
talk about my wife
clocks
like that.
him.
Yeah, he knocks him straight out. So actually,
Which I appreciate.
Rosario, like, or is anybody here? Like, we talk about Nick Cage, like, in general. how in this movie he was 23 years old,
which is crazy.
which is crazy because it's
Mhm.
funny how
That's
he
nuts.
I know,
Holy
right?
cow.
This is we talked about this. It's about 7 years before his first ever Oscar. He got his first Oscar for 31 for Leaving Las Vegas in 1994.
I've never even heard of that movie.
Oh, it's good. It's
Pretty
good. It's something you should watch later. But
Mm.
so he got his first Oscar for that, and we talk about how he looks 23, but he also looks like he's in his mid 30s.
Mhm.
It's kind of strange because when I was 23, I never looked like that. I know there's some people, who are young look older, but he looks young and old at the same time.
Well, I think everyone in the
I-
80s.
what I would give to look like that when I was 23.
Yeah, I think everyone in the 80s just aged differently.
That's very true. And like other movies, it's weird because what I like about him in this movie
Yeah.
is his hair.
His hair is
wacky.
itself a character.
It's a character.
Mhm.
Like it's everywhere. He's like a mad
Mhm.
scientist with his hair. When I first saw his hair, I'm like, oh my god, like this is what I'm getting myself into. Yeah, no, his hair's great, and it's never the same. It's
Mm-mm.
never the same from scene to scene.
It's always different type of mess.
yes,
Yep.
yes. I love that.
And then I think about that because how his hair was there and how he got older and how he turned into the same character of every movie now. He's really good now, obviously,
He is less Nick Cage in this movie than
than any other movie.
any other Nick Cage movie I've seen.
Because
With the exception of Adaptation.
he plays multiple people in that, obviously.
Well, then also Con Air, which was just
I've never seen Con Air.
it's
it's good.
definitely it's
What's-
good,
what's
but
it
it's not.
about?
As,
it sounds like an airplane movie.
It is an airplane movie, technically,
Okay.
yes.
It does have to do with an airplane.
Yeah, the Con Air. Literally,
Imagine
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage doing an impression of his character
In a
from in a plane. Like he's doing an
Right.
impression of High in a plane, but it's like a really bad impression
Yeah.
of this character.
he's been trying to recreate it
Yeah.
for a couple of years now.
Give me back that bunny.
Oh, does he have an accent? And
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
southern
horrible,
accent.
I feel like-
horrible southern accent.
Rosario, what do you think his accent sounded like in Con Air?
Oh man, I haven't seen it in a long time. Did he speaks in Con Air? I remember he doesn't say like anything in that movie.
Other than talking about his bunny or his
His daughter.
daughter's bunny and his daughter
Oh, that's
and getting
right.
home.
fun.
The movie's great because it has. I think what I love about it the most is Dave Chappelle's character.
Dave
Oh,
Chappelle.
yeah.
Dave Chappelle's in Con Air.
He is.
What the
He
Yeah.
he actually I don't want to ruin it unless you don't care, but
No, don't ruin it.
okay.
Don't ruin it.
You're gonna. So the thing is, the movie's good,
Yeah.
but it's got a hue of just awfulness into it.
It's like
Oh.
it's a good cheesy movie.
It's a cheesy movie,
All right.
Definitely cheese.
Okay.
but you got John Malkovich, you got Ving Rhames,
Yeah, John
Whoa.
Malkovich, the main villain.
Steve Buscemi.
Steve Buscemi.
Who directed Con Air?
Oh, is it Michael Bay?
Honestly, it wouldn't surprise me.
Michael Bay was like the first name that came to mind.
Michael Bay. Well, he directed The Rock. with
Oh,
Nicolas
yeah.
Cage.
It was Simon West.
I don't know.
Simon
Who,
West.
who the fuck is
Yeah.
Simon West?
Simon West. I don't know. Let me
He
see
did-
what he's
okay,
done.
apparently he did Lara Croft, Tomb Raider. He did The Mechanic,
He looks-
Expendables 2.
Yeah, so you have Nick Cage,
Okay.
John Cusack. Yeah, John Cusack is he on the plane or he works on the ground?
He's like an FBI agent
Yeah,
on,
FBI
the
agent
ground, and he had to like battle this complete a-hole not partner, but he also worked for the FBI.
Is Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage the villain in this movie?
No, he's
No.
Okay.
he's an ex.
No, Nicolas Cage is
No, 'cause
the,
I'm
the
looking
generic
at
action
I'm
good
looking
guy.
at this cover with like the
So-
fucking faces and shit.
So
and,
the
like,
base here's a summary of the movie, right?
Yeah.
Here, just paroled Army Ranger Cameron Poe, Nicolas Cage, is
Okay.
headed back to his wife Monica Potter, but must fly home aboard a prison transport flight dubbed Jailbird, with some of the worst criminals living, along with Diamond Dog Ving Rhames and Baby O Micheletti Williamson, genius serial killer Cyrus the Virus Grissom,
Cyrus the Virus.
Cyrus.
played by
Oh
John
my
Malkovich, yeah, unleashes a violent escape plot in mid-flight, secretly working with U.S. Marshal Vince Larkin, who's John Cusack.
Mm-hmm.
Poe tries to foil Grissom's plans.
Mm.
So, in all, right, he was an Army Ranger who
Yeah.
who his hands were lethal weapons. He was a lethal weapon. He got
Okay.
in an argument with people at a bar and accidentally killed somebody.
Ah,
And so he was sent to prison for.
hate it when that happens.
Yeah.
He was sent to prison for a number of years. So that is pretty much basic. And now he spent his time, and now he's on his way home, and everything else, all the trouble ensues.
Yeah.
Mm.
The movie is extreme cheese with like, epic guitar riffs, walking away from explosions, everything
Oh,
you would
nice.
think about.
Okay.
Look, I'm just saying, if I'm somebody in the year 1997 and I see the trailer for this movie, I'm thinking this is the greatest movie ever made. Like immediately.
Yeah.
It's that movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny because
Alright.
it's named an action crime, but there's so many funny aspects of it that I think it's hilarious.
Oh, like Die Hard?
Yes, Die Hard. Well,
Yeah.
Die Hard. I wouldn't. It's a Christmas movie.
It is
Yeah.
a Christmas movie.
But it's also it's an
Oh,
action
yeah.
it's an action movie, but it has comedic elements to it.
Absolutely.
Is it even labeled as comedic? And I don't even think it's labeled as comedic or
What?
comedy.
Die Hard?
Yeah.
I don't think so either. I think it's just action thriller. It's action thriller.
Speaking of John Malkovich, I haven't seen John Malkovich movie in so long. Like, is that guy even working?
Oh,
These days? Like, what does he do these
he-
days?
So far, he's in a show right now on Netflix called.
He's in a show.
He's in a show called
He's in the
Space-
Space Force show on
Space- yeah.
Netflix right now, I think.
Oh, Space Force.
Space Force.
Oh man,
Yeah.
how the mighty have fallen.
I think what made me really, really love John Malkovich. Ironically, John Malkovich and John
Yeah.
Cusack were in Being John Malkovich.
which is a great movie.
Which is
yes,
another-
Yes,
It's obvious. It's
I love that movie.
Not Andy Kaufman. It's
Charlie Kaufman.
Charlie Kaufman. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Did Charlie Kaufman direct it, or did he just write it?
He wrote it.
Okay.
No, he just wrote it. But
Directed.
no, that was Spike Jones.
Spike Jones. Okay.
Spike Jones directed it. Which made me love Spike Jones. Obviously, this movie, obviously, John Malkovich, great actor
Yes.
in my opinion, and he's done a lot in his time.
Like, there aren't many people whose speaking is so iconic that, like,
He enunciates his
the way
his
he
diction.
talks is very unique.
Mhm.
Like,
You
I don't
know what I am talking about.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And like, he has an American accent, but like, it is the most interesting American accent that I can think of off the bat. I mean, like, the only person that can come close, I think Christopher Walken and John Malkovich might be on the same tier.
You mean Christopher Walken?
That's horrible. That's a horrible Christopher Walken.
I think it's pretty good. How about you, Rosario? You think that was a good one?
No, Christopher Walken, he has like
I'm
pauses and shit.
I'm so upset that we're letting you get away with the terrible John Malkovich. Nobody said anything about that.
All right. I won't do it anymore, even though I think I'm pretty good. But yeah, John Malkovich.
Practice in the mirror.
He's
Mm-hmm.
he's 68 years old. He's 68 years old and been active since like the 1970s. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe it.
Wait, or 1980s maybe. In fact, he's almost 70 years old, and he still does relatively moving characters. If that makes sense.
He is a sprightly man.
Definitely. is.
Something. I just assume he's a healthy guy. I feel like he's too pissed off at the world to let the world see him die. So like, out of spite, he just lives a healthy lifestyle.
Mhm.
Like, I feel like that's how he lives.
I feel like he drinks kale shakes and does Pilates.
angrily.
Oh my God.
What?
I didn't know this. So John Malkovich, it made a movie called 100 Years.
Mm-hmm.
It says 100 Years, an upcoming experimental science fiction film written by John Malkovich and directed by Robert Rodriguez, advertised in 2015, but the movie we'll never see because it is due to be released on November 18th, 2115.
What the?
Wow.
We will never see this movie.
I will never see this movie. I'll die before I see this movie.
And the fact is, it's Robert Rodriguez directed it. It bothers me.
He's the guy that did Death Race. No, not Death Race. He's the guy that did. He's the fuck.
He did.
I hope not.
He actually did Spy Kids, Dust Till Dawn. He did Machete, Sin City, Desperados.
See, what-
Grindhouse.
So you know Danny Trejo's gonna be in that.
Yeah, he's in this movie in 100 years.
So is this movie already made? like completely.
Apparently, I mean, if they have 100 years to
Yeah.
make it,
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
probably locked away in some vault.
that's what Danny.
They should make a movie about getting this movie. Like it'd be the
Oh, like a
modern,
heist movie.
yeah, like a heist movie,
my
like an
God.
Indiana Jones Hollywood heist movie.
Hopefully not like the tower heist with
yeah.
Ben
And the
Stiller.
final boss is obviously John Malkovich.
John Malkovich. He has to hit the key to the safe is in John Malkovich's like
head.
head, and so Danny Trejo isn't in the movie, so he's mad about it. He wants to re-edit the film by ripping off his head and editing himself in there.
I feel like you have to have, if he's like the main guy, there's definitely like the lower bosses you have to get through.
Who would be the lower bosses?
John Cusack, obviously.
John Cusack, he has like a nice guy looking face. Like he doesn't look like a bad guy.
He also doesn't look like a good actor.
He doesn't sound like it either. Opinions here. He
Yeah.
was such a big deal in the 80s.
He was a really big deal.
Yeah.
Say anything?
I haven't seen that, but I like what comes to mind for me is am I getting him mixed up with somebody else? Was he? No, he wasn't in The Breakfast Club, was he?
He was
No.
not.
No, I'm
No,
thinking
that
it
was-
oh fuck.
Not him. That was.
Was he in St. Elmo's
think-
Fire? Or
Was he?
what the hell was John Cusack in? Like what is he what because he was definitely like a teen heartthrob back in the day.
John Cusack, what is it you say you do around here?
John Cusack was in 2012, and that movie was terrible.
Stand By Me. Okay.
John Cusack was in Stand By Me.
Apparently.
2012 was terrible.
I've
agree.
never seen Stand By Me. By the way.
I've seen Stand By Me, and I do not remember John Cusack in it.
I mean, then again, this was the 80s.
John Cusack.
And I mean, the guy's probably in his like mid 50s right now.
Hmm.
Maybe he was like an older brother or something. I'm not sure.
Apparently he was in Anastasia.
Like the
The
animated movie?
the cartoon like animated Anastasia.
Neat.
when did the movie come out?
No idea. 97 came out in
he's-
97.
All the recent movies he's been in, it almost seems like the Bruce Willis effect, where it's like you don't know any of these films.
Straight to DVD, straight to
DVD,
Netflix, straight to
Netflix.
streaming.
Yeah.
They're you find them in the bargain bin at CVS.
Oof.
Oh.
Yeah, and for some reason they're still like
This was-
$9.99.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's too cheap to be good, but too expensive for me to want
Yeah,
to buy.
like, I'm not paying $10 for this.
I feel like at some point before he dies, he's gonna find this podcast and like these little fucking shits.
He's
Should
gonna
we-
set a squad after.
Should we
this.
make a podcast set and it can only be people can hear it in 2115? Call it
I hate when actors get to that point. I feel so bad. For
where
them.
they think they're so artistic. They have to
especially
do
especially when they're ones that I like Bruce Willis.
Yeah, it's a shame.
They
Like,
become irrelevant. Irrelevant.
irrelevant. Yeah.
Yeah. Irrelevant.
that. I think it's not. I think it's because. I think it's by choice.
Do you think like Bruce Willis? Do you think he's a bad actor?
It's subjective.
So like so like here's the here's what like this thought didn't occur to me until I read this article that said that the last like 10 years like all of his movies have been like straight to DVD. Like he's had maybe like a handful of actual theater movies. And like for that reason like I'm wondering like shit like maybe Bruce Willis like the roles in which he's famous for, maybe he's just playing himself.
I
Maybe
think
he can't play anything other than himself.
I think
or,
he's
or a
definitely.
cop.
Yeah, I
or
think he's
cop.
definitely like almost like a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
Definitely good at that role. Definitely like classic action hero, usually a cop.
Yeah.
But other than that, he doesn't have a lot of.
Zero range.
Yeah,
the guy has
not a lot of
zero
range.
range.
Does it take this self-reflection for us to realize this?
Which really sucks
Look.
because Die Hard's awesome.
Yes, I like Looper a lot.
Looper's pretty good. That,
We
Oh, I
talk-
love Looper.
but we all know it was JGL that made the movie.
mm,
I think they both did the heavy lifting. I think
No,
they
I
are
think
both
Bruce
equal.
Willis will make that movie.
Yeah.
Also, who's the chicken in that? Oh fuck.
They even put all that makeup on Joseph Gordon-Levitt's face in order to just make him look like a younger Bruce
his
Willis.
nose. Yeah, they fucked with his nose, I think.
Well, they also put a really bad wig on Bruce Willis.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
if you
yeah,
remember
yeah.
that.
That one flashback scene where he has
Yeah,
super
gross,
long hair.
gross,
Oh.
nasty
Oh
hair.
my
That's a L'Oreal commercial right there.
Funny thing, actually, he wasn't L'Oreal, but apparently Bruce Willis' career started when he did Seabreeze commercials in the 80s.
Oh, nice.
What? What's
Like,
Seabreeze?
It's a very low alcoholic beverages meant for women
Ah, all right.
and men, I guess, but really it's just a very
Seabreeze.
Seabreezes.
Nothing screams feminine than Bruce Willis.
Yeah, so it was Emily Blunt.
Emily Blunt, that's who it was.
I was gonna say Olivia Wilde. I don't know why.
Emily Blunt was in Looper.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Looper.
She plays a horny mom in Looper.
Horny mom?
Yeah. That's why she fucks what's his face?
JGL?
JGL. I
This is
specifically
a
remember this one
controversial
scene.
statement that you're making right
I
now.
specifically remember this one scene where like JGL shows up at the farm and he's like, "Oh, I need to stay here," and she's like, "Fuck you," and then he's like, "Please," and she's
Oh
like,
yeah,
and
please
then-
stay here because I'm so horny.
No,
Yeah.
no. She lets him stay, right? And then later the scene cuts away to at night, and she's in her bed and she's fucking touching herself. And then she's like, and then she realizes, oh, I have a healthy young male residing in this house. Let me utilize him. And then they have sex. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I'm
What
pretty sure some stuff happens before that.
Well, yeah, obviously, but it doesn't change the fact
I
that
don't think it's just. I mean,
that
it just
she is
sounds more like a porno that you're describing right
she
now.
is a MILF who wants some. Like that's actual facts. Rewatch the movie. It's there. I promise.
We're gonna find the scene and we're gonna figure out exactly what she said. It was edited out, you can tell. Her lips are moving, but there's no noise because they edited out the fact that it says "fuck me, JGL." Fuck me, young Bruce Willis.
Is there something else we want to say about Raising Arizona?
There's, to be honest, there's so much.
We can
to say.
let's dial it back to Raising Arizona. All right. What can anything you guys want to talk about or
Okay, I'll talk about. We were talking about
Yeah.
John Goodman, and I want to talk about the scene where they escape,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Okay.
And what I like about
Where he screams?
he screams so much.
Yes.
Ah, ah.
Yeah, and you think it's over. And then he
It
takes a
keeps
breath.
going.
Yeah.
That's a
And
great
while-
scene. I can't believe I forgot about that.
And while he puts his hand down the pipe and
He
pulls him
pulls
out
the
But
other-
leg
with-
first.
with
Yes,
leg first
yes.
with an ungodly amount of strength, pulls his
Evel.
what
Evel.
Evel
Evel,
out
yeah.
of the shit pipe and just holds him and drops him. But he's still doing
No,
that.
he doesn't drop
No,
him.
he
just
doesn't
holds
drop
him
him.
up in the air.
They're both
He
cheering, yeah.
Maintains positive control.
And you see the legs still straight up. Woo!
Yes. That's a great scene. Oh my god. And like I love how at the end when they go back to jail, they go back in that hole. Like they don't walk into the jail. They go back in the hole.
All the
that
mud's
they-
gone. It's just a hole.
Yeah, it's a nicely dug grave. Okay, here's something I did wanna
Because they can say, "Oh, we never left. What are you guys talking
Yeah,
about?"
we've been here the entire time.
Obviously, or else you would see me come in.
All right, Veterans United just called me, and I don't care about them. Anyway, one thing I did want to talk about was you mentioned the convenience store.
Yeah.
There's a lot of convenience store interactions in this movie. I think there's like at least like 4 or 5, and I don't know if like the Coen brothers have a thing with convenience stores, but like. For example, in No Country for Old Men, famous convenience store scene.
Mm-hmm. Call it.
Yeah.
Call it.
Like, I don't want to call unless we know what we're betting on. It's like, call it.
Call it.
I want to bring that up because one of them is like terrifying,
Mhm.
utterly terrifying. It grips your attention, and you are just like glued to the seat. Like eyes are like lean forward. You are all in, and you're feeling everything that's happening in the scene. You could hear a pin drop at this kind of scene in No Country for Old Men. However, in this movie, like it's a joke.
Yeah.
Every time like someone's buying something at a convenience store, they chat up the guy, they chat up the clerk, and then they pull out the gun and they're like, "All right."
What I think that's almost like how it happens in real life most of the time, because like you see like these
Yeah.
like stuff on what
Like
True
Live
True
Leak?
True TV or something like that, and
Okay.
it's just these bumbling dudes
They're-
walking up with
Baseball bats. or
baseball
something.
bats.
Because
They don't know, and they don't know how to rob a store.
Yeah.
you see desperation. That's human
Mhm.
desperation.
Yeah.
Human desperation doesn't make you think clearly. You
Yeah.
just go for it.
The reason I bring this up is like it's really interesting how good the Coen brothers are at nailing the tone, because unlike Bruce Willis, the Coen brothers have amazing range.
Mm-hmm.
They can do comedy and at the same time turn right around and do serious, like
Dramatic effects.
Oscar-worthy drama shit. Like they could do both. Like that's how good they are. Like they have such an understanding of the craft that like any genre, they just crush it. They just fucking crush it.
Definitely.
And that was one thing that like I was really thinking about as I'm watching these convenience store like robberies. I'm like, this is totally different from No Country for Old Men, and it's also highly entertaining and it's like very fun and I like it.
Same but different.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly. I just want to point out one of my favorite lines from No Country for Old Men is the store where he's
Yes,
he brings out it was a quarter or a penny.
I don't. It was some kind
He
of.
brings out
It was a quarter.
I think it was a quarter. He brings out a quarter or a nickel, something whatever, and it had a date on it. And he talked about how this quarter was made in The movie's based in 1980s. I'm pretty sure it was
I believe so. Yeah.
right? And then this quarter was minted in like 1975. And he said something about this quarter is very important to you. You won this. It traveled like 12 years to get here
Yeah.
to this moment. The fact that this quarter is the quarter that saved your life. You didn't even know it, and you didn't even know it,
That's insane.
right?
Like-
And the thing, the terror we know,
Yes.
that guy felt, but he didn't understand.
Mm.
You know, and that's why I like that line. I'm paraphrasing, obviously, and I feel stupid because if I was gonna mention it, I should have looked it up. But it's one of my favorite lines in that movie because
It's great. That's a great line.
yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
It's one of those lines that, like I said, it has you by the balls. Like when he speaks, he has the audience by the balls,
Absolutely.
and it's a great place to be, which is weird.
I wanna be-
By
I wanna
the
be-
balls.
I want them to be around my balls right now.
I think this movie, like, due to its like, it's lighthearted. It's lighthearted, but it has a message. I'm not really sure what that message is.
I
think Nathan, Arizona, kind of like hinted at something of a message near the end.
I think what he's really talking about is like
Yeah.
because he says even if you can't have a child, you still have each other.
Yeah.
Yes,
Sticking,
yeah,
sticking,
yeah,
with,
yeah.
sticking with it.
Yeah.
All you get is
Mhm.
like if you stick with each other, you'll never be alone.
Mhm.
And who knows? One day it's never too late. You can have children.
Keep trying.
Yeah.
Just keep trying and live your life and be happy. That's all that matters. 'Cause
I-
your happiness doesn't come from a child; it comes from each other. That's what he's
Yeah.
talking about.
I do appreciate like Nick Cage's character. He's not a clingy loser husband.
Mm-mm.
Like when Ed says that she wants to split up, like he's sad about it, but he solemnly accepts it to the point where like near the end he even admits to Nathan as he's saying, "Well, sir, I think we're splitting up." And then obviously like Nathan Arizona goes into his whole speech about staying together, blah blah blah. But like I thought it was really interesting that like High thought that this was their last ride together. He really thought that. And he accepted it, and he followed through with it, which speaks to his character.
For her.
For her,
Mhm.
yes. The main characters in this movie, they have, it's super annoying to say, but the characters have character. Like they are good people, like decent people with decent morals, which is nice to see. It's part of the reason why I feel like this movie's so heartwarming.
Yeah,
It really makes you feel warm and fuzzy inside.
and I feel as though these characters couldn't be portrayed by any actor without the proper writing.
Yes.
I don't think the lines and what the Coen brothers wanted them to read, what they wanted to say, would come out if they were freeform.
Yeah. There's something about the delivery that's it's I don't know. It's like the level of kookiness
Hmm.
and sincerity and like just it's like the right mix.
It's all written really well.
Yes.
And like I said before, you can almost do any one of these characters could probably have their own movie.
Yeah.
Like you could write a whole story on any of these characters because even the small characters have so much depth. And like even like what's the guy when he worked in the mill and he's just sitting there talking about this guy walking down the street the whole time. The whole conversation he's just talking about like Robert Jackson or Robert Peterson. I can't remember what his name.
What scene was
I don't
this?
remember that one actually.
What scene
This was when he got out of prison, right? He got married to Ed,
Yeah.
and he's trying to be on like the straight and narrow, and he's like just going through the day. He got a job at this what is it, a mill or
Oh yeah, that guy.
Yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
His buddy worker.
yeah.
Yeah.
You could probably do a whole movie on that guy alone, just ramble on about something.
I saw that
It'd
guy.
probably be entertaining.
And I immediately thought of the NIMI workers
yeah.
that work in R9.
Just
Yeah.
like you said, like each character has their own individualism. You know,
Yes.
they are individuals. They're not somebody who they're put together to fill a role that somebody wrote. They took off their own lives, their own lives,
Mhm.
and their own emotions. They just go on for days. They go on for years. They
this-
have their own life. They're living right now.
This world is so interesting. Like, this is the kind of world where, like, a robber says, I'm going to count to 850, and I'm going to come back and check to make sure and they're still counting. Like,
Because
it happens twice. It happens with the old guy, the convenience guy, and then it happens with the whole ass bank.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
man.
Just lay down, little lady.
I like how he comes back. They're screaming because I leave the baby on the roof. Ah! They're screaming. The second time they're screaming all the way back, and
Yeah.
the guy in the clerk, and the guy in the store is like, "Man, there's bullshit." He stops counting.
He
And
looks
then
up.
91, 90, 89.
It's so good. It's so good. This is one of those times when I think like, why don't they make movies like this anymore? And then Ballad of Buster Scruggs came out like 3 years ago, so I guess they kind of do
What?
like every now and then.
I think a lot of movies like
Yeah.
that try to be real with their emotions and still be a comedy are just not well written
Yeah.
nowadays.
Yeah.
They don't have that heart.
I also think there's a very big lack of originality these days.
Yeah.
Everybody really wants to see a reboot,
Hmm.
which I don't mind. I like reboots.
Yeah.
I just wish there was more originality. I'm not gonna say
I think there is originality. It's just that they don't get the screen time as much as the reboots.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
think-
get they don't get the
the money.
the Super Bowl ad spots.
I
like
think
the
that's what I'm trying to get
reboots.
at too. I agree with
Yeah,
you.
they're harder to find.
Mhm.
Like they're just harder to find. They get lost in the weeds.
And everything, obviously, Disney owns pretty much everything.
And anytime any Disney or Marvel thing drops, like everyone is frothing at the mouth,
Yeah, well, and-
including me.
Yeah, me too.
Like,
Yeah. And then obviously all the reboots and remakes are pulling on everyone's nostalgic heartstrings.
absolutely,
There's
yes.
the entire movie market is in superheroes, and it will stay that way for a very long time. I think.
Yeah,
It's the new Western.
It is.
yeah.
Rosario, would you agree?
I mean, yeah, that's just how the nature of the business is right now at this point. And it's going to be a long while before that changes, I feel.
To be honest, I don't want to change. I just wish there was more
Yeah.
original ideas that are being put in the screen. Because imagine
At the end of the day, like people don't go to see them.
No.
At the end of the day,
it's like movies like
and in
Licorice Pizza that comes out.
and in any exactly and
They're thought of as indie films. It is.
I'd rather sit at home, to be
I
honest,
haven't
and
seen
watch
Licorice
those.
Pizza, by the way.
Sometimes it's hard to bring myself to a theater and watch movies like that
Yeah.
because I don't know. I'm not
What if-
trying to.
What if
true.
it's bad?
Yeah, what if it's
What
bad?
if it's bad?
If I go to a a Marvel flick or a DC flick, it's
You
like I
have
know
an
what I'm getting.
idea.
Yeah, I know what I'm getting myself into.
You've already invested your years.
Safer.
Mhm.
The only investment is the time you put into watching the past decade.
Yeah.
10 years, 12 years now. it felt like it came out 20 years ago.
12 years?
14.
Yeah, it's
14.
actually because 2008,
Mhm.
Iron Man
2018.
came out.
Yeah, in 2018 was 10 years. So it's 14 years.
I
Well,
know.
technically, 2002 was when Spider-Man came out, and that's the
Well, I mean, that's not really MCU.
now it is.
That was just
Sure.
now it is.
Now it is.
That's when
Yeah,
Actually,
it
yeah,
is now.
retroactively
when our
grandfathered in.
when our parents, John Favreau and Daddy Feige,
Oh, Daddy Feige.
Daddy Feige came into office. Essentially, they're most powerful men in the world, right there.
We need a Feige for the Star Wars universe. Like
It's not gonna happen.
it's because like Kevin Feige he has the unifying vision that makes all the Marvel movies like of a somewhat quality, of a somewhat coherence. Whereas with Star Wars, like there is no head honcho for Star Wars.
Mhm.
It's the fucking Wild West out there.
Yeah.
And people are making this and that, and things are not lining up. I feel like it's better now.
MCU films are like pizza. Like even like the bad MCU films are still good because it's still pizza.
The pizza
Pizza's
metaphor.
good.
Yes.
And
It's a
then-
metaphor.
But you know, Star Wars films are it's really good or it's like
Complete and utter
Yeah.
dog shit.
It's Jelly Belly beans. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know if you're gonna get the raspberry flavor or the snot flavor.
yeah.
Everyone says I saw a meme the other day. It's a Star Wars meme, and it was a picture of a guy with a icy hot putting on his back,
Mhm.
Okay.
but the guy had edited on his face was the Mandalorian. It says
Okay.
the
Oh,
for
from
back pain for carrying
carrying-
the entirety
Oh,
of
yeah.
the Star Wars series on his back, which is apparently essentially what he's done. He took from episode 7, 8, and 9 started in 2014, 2013?
2015. Episode
Mhm.
7 came out in 2015.
Episode 7 came out in 2015.
Yes.
All right,
that's a
so
fact.
in 2015, since until 2019 when the episode 9 came out. Or no, that's 2020. Episode 9 came in
when did
2020.
episode 9 come out?
I think that was 2018 or 2019.
I think it might have been 2019.
It was December of 2019. That's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So when those 3 movies came out, and in between, obviously Rogue One,
Yeah.
which was amazing.
Everybody loves Rogue One. I don't love Rogue
Well,
I like Rogue One.
I like Rogue One. I thought it was really good.
Me too, yeah.
Yeah, right. And you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself here.
One. No, I'm planting my flag and I'm saying that Rogue One's not that great.
So I guess what I want to get at here is ever since Disney Plus came in, and obviously everyone's getting their money's worth of Disney Plus for $8.99 with The Mandalorian once a year.
Yes.
It still has created a bigger fan base because even if you don't care about the
Yeah.
Star Wars film, you still got Baby Yoda,
yes.
the child, and you have The Mandalorian. They're their own storyline anyway.
Mhm.
You don't have to be a fan. Like my wife isn't a fan of Star Wars, but she loves watching The Mandalorian with me because of their gimmick, obviously,
Yes.
Yeah.
which is the Yoda, the baby. What's his name? Grogu.
Grogu.
My bad. Is Grogu.
There is a lot of potential.
A lot of potential, but also it can
So-
become stale
yes.
and old because
Also
obviously
true.
if it has to be their saving grace at whatever season they pop out, whether it's like
Can-
Boba
can-
Fett or
Can you imagine like 20, 30, 40 years when we're all old men, right? And then a movie comes out and Grogu is the 900-year-old Jedi Master that the new character has to go train
don't
with.
Don't say such things.
Like,
Please
'cause,
don't.
like, can you imagine? Like, that's a possibility. Like, we can get there as a species.
First
As-
off, have we all seen Boba Fett, the story, the
I'm caught up.
yeah.
Rosario?
No.
You haven't?
Oof.
I don't
Well,
even.
all right, here's the thing of Boba Fett. Boba Fett is a good time, but it's not fantastic.
That's
It's
what
not the Mandalorian.
It's not the
it's-
Mandalorian, and that's what I'm trying to get at because you haven't seen the second half of it, which is where I want to go to.
I take issue with the later episodes of Boba Fett
Yeah, because it takes away from
It's
him.
not-
because
it's not
yeah,
Bo-
It's just
yeah.
not Boba Fett
show.
It stops.
We
being-
could always expand. Yeah, we could always expand on Star Wars a lot more in a future episode.
That's true. We can do that whenever in the future, definitely. Maybe we should go back to the task at hand. Unless anybody else has something to say about that.
About what, Star Wars?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we could talk about Star Wars for days.
That could be a whole episode, whole couple
Yeah.
episodes.
A 50-year-old movie series, nearly 50-year-old movie series can be talked about for 50 years straight.
Yeah.
What I would love to see is a Star Wars film or mini series, limited series on Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever.
They are the same. They're the same standard anyway.
Yeah, on a limited series about the Old Republic. That's what I want to see.
Knights of the Old Republic.
It doesn't have to necessarily be the storyline from Knights of the Old Republic.
Before Phantom Menace.
But Old Republic. I believe the Old Republic is centuries before Phantom Menace. I believe
That's with Darth Revan, right?
yeah, Revan, Malik, Darth Nihilus, Darth Treya.
Yep.
Darth
Bane.
Darth Bane.
Darth Bane. No.
Darth Bane.
Oh, okay.
Was he not in the Old Republic?
Oh yeah, he was. No, he came. Yes, he was in the Old Republic, but in the later years of the Old Republic.
Okay, yeah. Because
Because
he's the one who started the rule of two.
yeah.
I was gonna say because it was Darth Revan. Everyone knows the person who's gonna play Darth Revan, if anything, will 100% be
Who?
Keanu Reeves.
What? Why?
He looks exactly like him.
All right. Well, canonically, Darth Revan is male. Yes, but when I played through, Darth Revan was female. So in my brain, I just think Darth Revan's like a woman.
Yeah. Also, how about we just keep Keanu Reeves away from the Star Wars universe? It's like,
I don't think
He
they fit.
he doesn't need to be in it. He's fine doing what he's doing.
Just pump out another John Wick.
doing Matrix reboots and John Wick flicks. He's good.
John Wick in space.
John
Yeah.
Wick.
He doesn't need to add Darth Revan of all characters to his resume. You know what I mean?
You're right. He already had. What was his character's name in The Replacements? Have you seen that movie?
No, I've never even heard of that.
Oh, something Falco, right?
Yeah.
What
something-
Is it Johnny Falco?
John Falco?
Johnny Falco. He's the star QB for Gene Hackman's team.
Yeah. What he played? I just think it's funny how the movie is so well liked, but it only got 40%. Shane Falco, by the way.
Shane Falco already.
Shane Falco.
It only got a 40%, 41% Rotten Tomatoes. I think
When
that's
did this movie come? The Replacement.
pretty-
2000.
It's pretty dated. It
Yeah,
didn't. I
2000.
don't think it aged very well.
2000. Yeah. What the fucking shit?
It has a good, group of
Jon
actors.
Favreau's
Jon
in this
Favreau,
movie.
he
What the
played-
fuck?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he just played like a dumb linebacker, right?
He's played a hot-headed
Yeah.
linebacker. Rosario, you've seen Replacements, correct?
Nope.
What? You're a big sports fan. You love football.
Is that a football movie?
Apparently.
It is a football movie.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I've seen like the big name football movies.
In all honesty, I feel like it's kind of a generic sport movie. You could probably put any skin over it, and it'd probably be about the same.
I feel as though it's more of a satire. of it.
Yeah.
Of a satire built on top of a generic
Yeah.
football movie. 100% agree.
Yeah.
But obviously it's supposed to be satirical to the fact that, hey, football, teamwork, everything
Yeah,
works.
teamwork. Star quarterback has problems, overcomes it. Final game.
Much like Captain America movies.
Yeah.
He has issues,
well,
overcomes
I like Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier is amazing.
That's like one of my favorite
Fire.
MCU films.
Winter Soldier's fire.
Yes. Winter Soldier made everyone realize Captain America is actually badass. Cause like Captain America, the first Avenger, that movie, like he's kind of like your generic
Boy Scout.
yeah, Boy Scout, like running into the line of fire, like honor, courage, commitment, like that whole shit. Like that was him.
Top five MCU movies.
Top 5 MC movies, agreed.
And then Winter Soldier came out, and then like everyone's like, all right, another Captain America movie, like more of honor, courage, and commitment. All right, we know what's going on. And then we
He's
watch it, and
badass.
it's like, oh shit, this is
Okay, I wasn't thinking none of that.
No, but you get what I'm saying though. Like
Unencouraged
that whole sentiment, like
Yeah.
where like he's the goody two shoes, do no wrong, like wholesome
I
hero.
saw Winter Soldier, and after went directly to my CEO and was like, "Yo, I want to re-enlist."
No. I'm not saying Winter Soldier
I'm
was.
feeling it.
I'm not saying Winter Soldier was honor, courage, and commitment. That's more Captain America: The First Avenger. Winter Soldier is more like Captain America will super kick you into a railing and your body will go flying. Like
Your
that's.
Oh, that's
bones,
fair.
That dude is dead.
Yes.
your bones will fly out of your hands. You ever see in
Yeah.
in
Now
Predator
that I
when
think about it, Winter Soldier is actually like the realization of when you do re-enlist, and you're like, "Oh shit, what did I get into?"
The guys
That's
on
what
the
Winter
the guys
Soldier
on
was.
the boat who's like currently
You're like,
drinking
"Oh
out of a
wait, the
straw.
government fucking sucks."
wait, what happened? Dan, what did you say?
What are you talking about?
Oh,
No, I said that's what Winter Soldier is.
oh yeah.
Yep.
We talked about this in a previous recording, but your favorite thing about this
Oh,
movie?
the hand-to-hand combat.
Yes, please explain again and better.
Okay, so I've said this before. I'll say it again. So there's this. Do you remember the highway fight scene, the highway action sequence with the Winter Soldier
Yep.
and Scarlet Witch, or it's not Scarlet, fucking
Scarlett Johansson.
Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, Black Widow. She's there, and Anthony Mackie there, the Falcon. They're all there. Everyone's there. Everyone's here, and they're all fighting. And the Winter Soldier is just fucking things up left and right. And uh, at first he's trying to hunt down Black Widow, and she's like running through cars and like telling people to run away and shit like that. And then like he nails her, like he shoots her,
Mhm.
and like I think she gets shot in the side, and like it's a very visceral hit. Like it looks like she actually took a hit. Like she really sold that well. And I actually looked at the making of for that, and they were actually on a highway, and when she fell they had to have like padding because she literally fell, and like they did that scene over and over again to get that fall right. But yeah, they sold it really well. And like Black Widow, she is like in panic mode, like she knows she's about to get got. um and like she does this last ditch like trickery with like her cell phone, like playing a recording to make it seem like she's there. And then like for a second it works, and she catches fucking Bucky by surprise and tries to take him out with like the wire. Obviously Bucky, like he's too fast, and he's able
Wrong.
to counter that, and he throws her. And then like right when I think what happens is like right when he's about to like deliver the killing blow or something, like Captain America comes in, and then they get into the fist fight. And now we're in this epic fist fight, this epic fight between Captain America and Winter Soldier. And there's this one what?
Sorry, and
Yeah.
he's also not in his uniform.
No, he's not.
No.
He's in plain clothes.
Yep.
Like he has like a
He's got a gray T-shirt on
Yeah.
and gray and blackish
still
pants.
still looks jacked.
He's
By
just-
the like his shoulders are broader than the wall of China.
Oh,
Like it's
I'm sweating over here.
Getting
out.
Getting the meat sweats right now.
And there's this one part of the fight scene. It's a very brief shot where Winter Soldier has this knife, and he's like trying to attack Captain America with this knife, and like he tosses the knife in the air, and like he catches it and to attack at him with like another angle. And like that shit, when I saw that, it was so badass.
Yeah, he's
Like-
such a scary dude.
Yes.
His speed and strength are comparable to Captain America, which we already know is
Yeah.
like off the charts for superhuman strength.
Yeah.
You know, when I first watched the movie, I didn't realize Bucky was a super soldier. I thought he just had a metal arm. Like I didn't realize he had the serum.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize it till like way later. But yeah, they're two behemoths
Yeah.
going at it.
He's actually I don't even know. He's so Bucky Barnes. You know, I don't know where I'm going with this right now. I lost my train of thought. I had something going, and it's gone.
Does he have another series coming up with him?
It's going to be Captain America and the Winter Soldier
What? Yeah.
because
Okay.
we've all seen.
there is a season 2
if-
of that, right?
I'm not sure yet,
Okay.
I think
but
it's
I
a
know there will.
possibility. I think
Because
they
Anthony
might be
Mackie.
doing a Captain America
I know
4.
that they're doing.
A
I know
Cap
they're doing. Yeah,
4.
I know that they're doing.
Yeah, but it's Anthony
Uh,
Mackie though.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like weird. Anthony Mackie, obviously, he can do all the same
But
things.
he's gonna get his own movie.
Oh yeah, he's gonna.
I'm kind of skeptical because he doesn't have the super serum,
And he
super serum.
refuses it too.
Yeah, and like that's a whole thing. They go over that in depth in the series, which I appreciate. And like I understand his motivation for it, but at the same time, like how useful is a guy in a wingsuit in the grand scheme of like Avenger level threats? Like I don't know. It's
Zero.
It's
I
hard,
mean,
it's hard to think about that.
I
Like,
think it's almost like a
Anything is
battle of wits at that
possible.
point.
yeah.
Anything is possible with
Yeah.
the power of freedom.
Well,
Everybody.
we already know what his
Eagle screeches in the
Believe hard
background.
enough.
we already know what his main the main antagonist. I assume. Oh well, not we already know. I assume the main antagonist for any whatever movie is coming is gonna be the
Like the
U.S.
big-
agent.
The big bad.
Yeah, U.S. agent.
Oh wait, okay. I thought you were talking about like the next Avengers level threat
Oh no, I'm talking about in a standalone movie with
for Captain America.
Captain America is
Yeah.
U.S. agent, obviously, because it was.
I mean,
the-
U.S. agent isn't a villain.
I don't.
He's
well, it
more of
doesn't-
a, I think, an anti-hero.
Yeah,
he's just working. He's a government contracted
yeah,
person. I have a feeling he might be a
He's
big deal.
definitely, he's definitely an asshole.
Yeah.
yeah,
We
yeah.
can
No,
all agree on that.
he's an asshole. Yeah, for sure.
Anybody else really upset when they saw that,
Saw what?
when they had him as like Captain America?
Oh yeah,
I personally didn't like it because
Yeah.
I like his face.
his his face
Yes.
that's Kurt Russell's son.
Yes.
Oh really?
Yeah.
He
I-
look-
I
he
didn't
looked
know
like-
that.
Yeah.
I love Kurt Russell, so that was hard for me.
he looks like Wallace from Wallace and Gromit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? He does have that elongated like bottom half
Chin
of
and his smile,
Mm-hmm.
it stretches outwards. I don't know.
He has
Um,
a very punchable face.
Literally, and maybe that's what they're going for because they
I'm
wanted you
sure.
to.
I'm sure they were going for a little bit.
Yeah,
of
just
that.
like a snotty little dude that
Yeah.
thinks he can get away with it.
Who also has 4 Medal of Honors, but
Yeah.
most decorated soldier of all time.
Should we bring this
Except he
back
didn't.
to Raising Arizona?
Yeah, we probably should actually.
Yeah, no, we're a decent amount in.
We should probably wrap it up, huh?
What else can we talk about for it? There's definitely we could definitely talk about more for Raising Arizona, but for this podcast, like, you guys have anything else?
I'm.
Where would Raising Arizona rank for you guys?
Oh yeah,
on,
we're actually.
all-time Nicolas Cage movies.
Oh,
We actually talk about this
interesting. Okay,
because we usually at the end of these things, right?
yeah.
Talk about we each give our own personal rating,
Oh yeah,
and then we average it out and give it a total.
sure. But I want to answer Rosario's question. That's a really good question. Like, where does it rank among the Nicolas Cage
Oh,
collection, the Cage collection?
Oh.
I do think so. Nick Cage movies that definitely belong in the Cage collection, in my opinion. Adaptation,
adaptation.
100%.
I love that movie.
Fucking.
Face Off.
Face Off.
I've never seen Face Off.
That's
that's
100% in there. Face
Alright,
Off.
Face
Face
in
Off.
there.
We'll have
There's
Face Off.
Face
I
Off
saw
is great.
I saw a T-shirt. It was in
Yeah.
a recent movie actually, but I saw this T-shirt a long time ago. It's a picture of it's a picture of Nick Cage's face, but on the bottom it says John Travolta. It's
That's
really-
so good.
Yeah,
Oh man, I kind of want that T-shirt.
yeah, me too. I've been looking for it. Well, I mean, I've been thinking of
Yeah.
getting it because I know I can find it easily.
All right.
Mandy. I'm putting Mandy on in the Cage collection.
Top, yeah, definitely.
I also really like The Rock.
I was gonna say that too.
The Rock.
I love The Rock,
Should
yep.
be in the Cage collection.
It's
The
funny.
movie and the man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Mandy definitely. What other movie? Like
And
National Treasure.
oh yeah, National
National-
Treasure. Yeah.
the first one.
And then we have to put some of his worst ones also.
Con
like
Air.
Wicker Man
Wicker.
and Ghost
Wicker Man.
Rider.
I'm not. To be honest, no.
Which one's the one where he plays a vampire but like in a modern office setting?
Oh,
Is that a thing?
Yeah, that he plays he plays a vampire, and this is where the meme face of Nicolas Cage looking crazy. That's where it comes
yeah, where
from.
he's like looking up and
Yeah,
he's
that's-
just like
that's where
whacked
it's-
out of his mind.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
where it's from. Whatever that movie is,
I'm
uh,
trying to look for.
vampire. It's called Vampire's Kiss.
Oh,
if you look at,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
that's the one.
there it is. Vampire's Kiss.
Vampire's Kiss, bro.
There's a picture right
Yes,
there, too.
Yes.
What did it rate as?
You don't say.
61%. Decent rating. Well, adaptation got a nice 90%, which it deserves more, I think, but it's good. He's actually, on average, done more good movies than bad.
Oh, I don't know about that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, think about it. Like the movies,
I don't know.
the
about
movies that are
that.
bad just
That's
just
a
have
strong statement.
the movies that are bad just still have something. It's Nicolas Cage. That's it. And that's the best thing about it.
Ghost Rider was bad.
Ghost Rider 1 was okay. Ghost Rider
There's
2.
a 2?
There's
what?
a second one.
They said let's do it again.
Spirit of Vengeance. What
the fuck?
So Ghost Rider 2 was god awful. Ghost Rider 1 you could,
Who's the chick? Amber Heard? Is Amber Heard?
And
No,
Eva Mendes.
That's Drive. That's Drive
Eva
Angry.
Mendes was
Yeah.
was the love interest in
Yes.
Ghost Rider 1.
All right.
I still in Ghost Rider 1 my favorite line was when he he plays a southern guy, right?
Yeah.
But he goes there, he said, "Do you still like Italian?" I'm like, dude. I'm by any means if he ever listened to this, which would
Yeah.
never happen. If he ever listened to this, which I hope he would, I'm not saying that I'm making fun of his movies or him at all. I'm just saying some things he does, his mannerisms in every movie he does is hilarious, which we always love. The Nicolas Cage scream.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Just the
no, he screamed in Raising Arizona too. He had a good scream.
Yeah.
In this one. Yeah. When he was tied up in the chair, like
Oh yeah.
that was a good scream. Very good scream. Also, yeah, Raising Arizona, 100%. Cage collection.
On the list.
Oh yes.
100%. He's so good in this. And it's not anything like his other movies. Like, yeah.
I think it's funny every time I've ever watched Fast Times at Ridgemont High. He's just in the background.
I've never seen that.
Because he was not even 18 years old.
He wasn't Nick Cage yet.
He wasn't. Oh, he was. Yeah, he was
Oh, was
Nicholas
he-
Coppola.
Credited
Yeah, he was
as
a Coppola.
Interesting.
Nicholas Coppola, yeah.
I always forget that.
It was 5 years before. So he was 18 years old in the movie actually.
Mhm. That was
1982.
one of his first few movies.
Yeah, it was his. I think because I looked it up. His fourth movie was Raising Arizona, and that has to be his third. then.
Does Nicolas Cage have children?
Yeah, he has 2 kids. I told you one of his kid's name is Kal-El.
Oh, yeah, you did say that.
That's pretty
You did-
dope.
I forgot about
Kal-El Kim Cage.
He was supposed to play Superman. Not his kid, but Nick Cage.
Was he really?
He was casted in a Superman movie
That's
Directed by Tim Burton.
directed by Tim Burton.
Oh
that.
yeah.
Ooh, huh.
Oh, okay. I didn't actually. I say, oh yeah, but I didn't know that. So I didn't know that. And I'm really glad it never happened, though. To be honest, I couldn't see him.
There's set photos that have been released in him in like this really crazy Superman get up, really skin tight, and it's
Oh,
it's rough.
we got to steal the Declaration
I'm
of Kryptonite.
It almost looks like he has like a mullet too.
That's what his hair is, though.
Yeah,
His hair. He just has.
this
He has
receding hairline.
but it's a 5 head
Mhm.
receding hairline, but it's Nick Cage, which he played in pretty much everything he's done since I guess since the National Treasure movies.
Mhm.
Like I think my least favorite movie of his it's Knowing.
Knowing, I
Knowing-
haven't seen it, but I
Knowing's
heard it
not
was
great.
god awful.
It's not
It-
great.
it's
no.
terrible. I remember I watched it as a kid and I thought, oh, this is an interesting concept, but I was a kid, I didn't understand shit.
Hmm.
And then I decided my last underway, I watched Knowing
Yeah.
and I cringed at it. I got so mad.
Wasn't he
That I just turned it
in-
off.
Wasn't he in the Christian movie Left Behind?
Yes.
He did do that. And then he did the Navy movie, the Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, yeah.
I wonder how
Why-
they made a movie like
Why
that.
does, like,
The
how...
whole thing lasted 15 minutes and made a 2.5 hour movie of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
So
know.
I mean,
I mean, weren't they in the water for a while?
no, I think they all died immediately. I'm not sure.
Wasn't the
Sounds bad to
Indianapolis
say.
the one where, like, they were in the water and the sharks, like, fucking tore them apart? Or is that a different boat?
No, I think it was the Indianapolis.
Yeah, they were in the water for a decent amount of time.
Mm.
I don't know how the movie goes, but I'd imagine like 80% of the movie they're just floating in the water, screaming.
Rosario, personally, how do you feel about Gone in 60 Seconds?
On 60 seconds. That was a long time since I've
Yeah,
seen that one.
sorry.
That's the Angelina Jolie movie.
Yes,
Mhm.
sorry to put that. It was randomly. I just thought because the movie itself has a big good cast. You know, you have Angelina Jolie, you have Giovanni Ribisi. Again, we talked about him being one of the most underrated actors in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
You have Scott Conn, who's the son of what was his name? Oh my God, he's the son of James Conn. There we go.
Yeah,
I don't know who that is. Who
James
is it?
Conn.
James Caan.
He was Sonny Leone from. Oh, you never seen The Godfather?
He's
Yeah.
he's the dad from Elf.
Sonny and the Godfather.
Yeah,
Oh,
from
what the
Elf. He's the
fuck?
father
Yeah.
from.
He's
Huh.
yeah.
All right.
Scott Conn's son, though. He was also in the Ocean's movies.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's not like a big actor. No,
He
like
played opposite of the Casey Affleck in the Ocean's movies.
He's Will Ferrell's dad in Elf also.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
James
yeah.
Caan.
Cover that.
His
well,
best role, honestly.
yeah. Well, yes. But I like there's a story behind Elf actually with James Caan, but we can talk about that later. But John in 60 Seconds was some of the worst acting of a movie that he's been in my opinion. Worse than anything. But there's something about it that I still liked, and I just couldn't stop watching it. And it's just we talked about the Bruce Willis effect. Let's just talk about the Nick Cage effect. Let's make that a thing.
What is the Nick Cage effect?
It's just the ability to grasp the viewer just by being him.
Oh.
I think if I see a Nick Cage movie, I'm just gonna watch it because I just
Hey,
love
that's
seeing
Nick
him.
Cage.
Hey, that's Nick Cage.
I like for the most part, if you're a serious director who cares about your movie and who wants like the vision of your movie to come out, like I don't think it would serve you well to cast Nick Cage, because then the attention would just be on Nick Cage, and like you don't really sell your vision at that point. You're just selling Nick Cage.
Yeah, good point.
That said, if you're a director who's trying to phone it in, who's just trying to direct a random ass movie to finish a contract out, hey, somebody call Nick Cage.
Nick, how fast can you get here, Nick? I'll be there very soon.
I'll be there in 60 seconds.
I'm gone in 60 seconds. God. No, why are we doing this to ourselves?
However, I don't think that's always the case, because Nick Cage can be very good. He has proven to be amazing in certain roles. And obviously, for the most part, like he's not that great, or
No.
he is not in many great movies. I feel like I feel personally that he is in more bad movies than good movies. And that hurts him. It just hurts him.
I think it's because I think he likes doing the abstract things.
Yeah. Recently, on the other hand, there has been a Cage-assance, a renaissance of Nicolas Cage movies, and I hope he can turn his image around.
Mhm.
And I'm talking about Mandy. I'm talking about Pig, and there's this new movie coming out, which apparently has good reviews. I forget the title. It's a long ass title.
It's the unbearable weight of massive talent.
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. There you go.
Already has
How many-
100% on
How
Rotten
many
Tomatoes.
reviews? Because they always start out high and then they drop.
Of course, but like the fact that it's
as-
initially
as more people watch it. The initial scoring, that's
essentially
unbearable weight of massive talent. All right, let's see here. Let's see. 17 reviews. That's nothing, dude.
I
By the time this movie comes out, like there will be at least like plus 100 reviews.
I agree, but like if
Yeah.
even at 17, 100%, it seems like still relatively high.
That just means 17 people rated this higher than 50%. If 17 people said this movie is a 6 out of 10, guess what percentage it gets on Rotten Tomatoes?
True.
100%.
Good point.
So like that, I feel like right off the bat, like Rotten Tomatoes, you gotta know how they're how their formula works before you start getting excited about things.
I think I get excited about it because
I think
They
deep
even
down,
said-
we all want this movie to be amazing. I think
Yes.
deep down we feel that.
apparently he turned down this role 4 times.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. This is literally his. I think I would say it's probably
Yeah.
his first theatrical release in a long time. Well, would it be other than like animated movies like The Croods?
Well, no, Pig came out. Mandy came
was
out.
that are they theatrical releases?
Well, yeah.
Were they mainstream
No,
media? Or
no,
theatrical
they came out
releases?
in like indie theaters, but nonetheless a theatrical release.
Okay, I concur.
They weren't direct to DVD, direct to streaming.
All right,
Yeah.
but I'm saying this one here, it's going to be a big thing.
I hope so. He needs a win. He needs more wins.
I believe these last 3 movies, like the Cage songs you're talking about,
Yes.
with a Pig and what is the other one? With Pig, Mandy, and the other one, Willy's Wonderland.
What the hell is that?
Didn't we talk about
Yeah, the
What-
animatronics.
the animatronic?
Oh
thing?
yeah.
That was the last podcast.
I have not seen that yet.
That
I know
movie was-
we talked about it.
The movie is hilarious because it's a horror / action movie, and it's just so funny because when
Yeah.
we talk about Nick Cage has 0, and I repeat 0 words, no dialogue at all, and he just makes it work. He makes it work. to
He's
his
coming
advantage.
out with a couple more movies in 2022. One's called The Retirement Plan, The Old Way, and Butcher's Crossing.
And apparently, there's also in works of National Treasure 3.
What the fuck? He's playing Count Dracula in a 2023 movie called Renfield.
Sign me up. I'm in.
What the heck is this?
I'll be in the
He's
theaters.
he also has a Joe Exotic project in the works.
He's doing a Joe Exotic project too,
What?
Yeah.
like a TV show or a movie.
Don't remember, but he has been cast.
Oh my God! No way. This guy.
Yeah, he's.
He does it all. He does it all, but he doesn't do it all the right ways, though.
But he also okay. So looking at his filmography, like he also has some losers. Like in 2020, he came out with this movie called Jiu-Jitsu, and apparently it's a science fiction martial arts film.
I've seen
Science fiction martial
Ew.
arts film. What?
It's basically Mortal Kombat.
What the
think
fuck
about it.
is this? That is a very specific genre. I guess that's true. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, science fiction, aliens, different dimensions or different realms. I guess.
Mhm.
Guess so. All right, so I guess since we're done,
Yeah. Hey, let's go around. Let's go around and say what I guess. Well, let's start with Jonah. It's his movie. Yeah.
This movie obviously holds a place in my heart.
Mhm.
I don't even know where to begin because
I think we really do understand your opinions here, and it's really hard to put into words after speaking about it for so long.
yeah. No, great movie. I think overall, Coen Brothers, another one in their
Repertoire.
repertoire. I'll probably give it. For me, it's an 8.
8.
For me, it's an 8.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 from Jonah. All right, for me, I think, like, if anything I've said during this podcast, if you can take any of that as a hint, I love this movie. I love this movie so much. This movie has so much heart, and it also has a lot of brains. When I saw this movie and knowing that, like, Jonah recommended it, and, like, as soon as the accents started coming in, I'm like, I can see why Jonah like this has that feeling of like the funny accents, but also like yeah, it also has brains. It's smart. The writing is very, very good. And things don't happen randomly. There is a cohesiveness to the whole story. There is a motivation for every character. I really liked it. It's very heartwarming and highly entertaining. I give this a 9 out of 10.
Now, I agree with both of you guys 100%, and it's hard for me to say how I feel about it, like in a rating, probably not very hard, but I want to agree with 9, and I want to go higher.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want to say it's an 8 because I think it's in between both 8 and 9. I'd say an 8.5 because I agree with both your opinions,
Okay.
and there's just something about the movie itself that it grips you, and that's the best thing about it. And it's not just Nick Cage too, like how you said,
Holly Hunter.
like
I really like her.
like how you said, a lot of Nick Cage movies is he takes the stage and he takes over.
Yeah.
This one, no, it's an equalness.
Exactly.
Everything's equal because they all bring something to the table.
Yes. I feel like we didn't talk about Holly Hunter enough.
No, probably not.
She's great.
We could get back to it in a second.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
But I'd say I want to give it an 8.5.
8.5 from Murphy.
Yep.
All right. Rosario, Dan, what's your take? Oh wait, you haven't seen the movie. Never mind. Well, let's say you
I
did.
give Con Air a 10 out of 10. It's the greatest
Hell
movie
yeah.
ever made.
Hell yeah,
Oh.
10 out of 10.
How it didn't win Best Picture at the Oscars, to be honest.
Thank you for that input.
So the overall rating for the three of us, at least,
Yeah.
gives it essentially.
Did you do the math already?
Yeah, essentially gives us an 8.5.
Yeah.
It's an 8.5.
8.5.
There's a median at the median there, so
Yes.
Burnaflick score of 8.5.
a Burnaflick score.
There it is.
8.5.
All right. Well, I guess that concludes that. So for the next time we meet, I believe I'm the one who's choosing the movie. This next movie that we're going to talk about is a downer. It's a downer of a movie.
Okay.
So it's really good that we did Raising Arizona because Raising Arizona was an upper. It uplifted your spirits.
I want to be depressed right now.
But this movie is a downer, and it's a French-Canadian movie set in the Middle East, and most of the movie is either in French or Arabic.
Okay.
And this movie is called Incendies, which is I believe it's a French word, but like you spell it out like incendies, INCENDIES, and I think it means like those on fire or like something like incendiary.
Okay.
It's kind of that root word, but came out I believe 2011 or 2010 or something like that, and the basic gist of like the premise is you have these two twins, brother and sister twins, and they just learned that their mom died, and their mom has a very confusing will, and this movie basically is about the twins executing the contents of the will, like because like in the will it says like it says a bunch of stuff, and then the twins have to like figure it out, kind of. And part of that includes like flashbacks to the past of like the mother's life, how she grew up, and yeah, it's a downer. This movie is a downer. I'm giving you the guys the heads up. This movie makes you feel awful.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Are we talking like Schindler's List level of
No,
downer here?
because Schindler's List, I feel no, I don't know. I'd say it's less. So Schindler's List has like a collective downer feeling because like it's a
Right.
loss of a people, and
Right.
But this one, it's more pinpointed. It's a more specific tragedy type deal, if that makes
All right,
sense.
that's fine.
But yeah, no, Schindler's List also a downer. However,
No genocide is what I'm getting at. Essentially, I guess.
Yeah, we're not advocating for genocide. Making it's not supposed to be negative.
yeah.
Usually they are.
But yeah, this movie, it wasn't very. It never made any big rounds. I think some like in some international film circles, it was highly regarded. But overall, it didn't really make much of a fanfare, at least in the States.
Let's talk about the director of the movie.
Yeah, the director of the movie. This movie helped launch his career, and you guys might know him today as the director of Dune,
Ooh,
and also
nice.
Blade Runner,
Ooh.
and also the Blade Runner 2049, and also Arrival and Prisoners
Mhm.
and Sicario. That director is Denis Villeneuve, and this is his second feature film, I believe, second or third ever. But yeah, we'll do that one, and I don't know when we're gonna meet next. I guess we'll decide that after we end this podcast. But that's our next movie. Uh, and any closing remarks?
No, I just want to say, for anybody who listens to this, thank you for listening, and hope to see you soon.
Cool.